We're here in Las Vegas, Super Bowl Radio Row. I say it's day 3, but I'm losing track here, Bill. But Bill Miller, thanks for joining us on the show. How you doing?
I'm awesome. Day one for me, so
Is it?
it's
Okay.
easy.
And what do you think so far here at the Mandalay Bay?
It's amazing. It's for me, I get the honor every day of representing the gaming industry, and so to see the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas, in Nevada, it's really a dream come true.
I'm guessing, Bill, this is home. You've been here for a long time.
No, I live in Washington D.C.
Really?
but and was in London yesterday, so I thought I might be a little bit more beat up today, but
Okay.
excited about what the Super Bowl being here in Las Vegas means to the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Obviously, it means a lot to the people who live in Nevada, people who live in Las Vegas, how much this industry means to really America.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the, people talk about, they're going to come from somewhere else to come to America. Las Vegas is in the top 5 always.
Yeah, Bill, some of these questions, hopefully you're not, dumb questions or whatever.
There's no such thing as
Okay.
dumb question.
So I just want to make sure I got everything right because I actually used to work here in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Review Journal, and to me, gaming is just all Las Vegas. That's it for me. But now,
It's generations. Right?
But that was like 7 years ago when I used to work here in Las Vegas, and I come back here, and you're saying America. Now everybody, the NFL's here, so it's growing and growing. Like you mentioned, it started with Las Vegas, obviously New Jersey, and now more and more and more. So you're the one doing the whole national.
Yeah.
Can you give us your title, and and just your background, and then how sports and gaming is growing throughout the whole country?
Sure. So I have the great honor of being the president and CEO of the American Gaming Association. Our job is to advance the interests of legal regulated gaming, whether it be casinos, tribal and commercial, all over the country. We've now got over 1,000 casinos here in America. And then more recently, sports betting, right? It's kind of happened, and it's happened in the last 5 years. And so what I think about when I see the Super Bowl here in Nevada, Super Bowl here in Las Vegas, the Golden Knights come, the Las Vegas Aces, the NFL draft. I was here 2 years ago. The turnaround that's taken place from leagues to being very standoffish around sports betting and the gaming industry in more general, to a real recognition of the fact that this is a way for sports fans to enjoy their games that they like even more.
Yeah, so for me it was kind of like a simple mindset. It's just sports, but it's everything. You got all different kinds of gaming. You mentioned tribal, so I'm glad you broke it down for me. But for you with the Super Bowl being in Las Vegas, does your job change a little bit? Trying, you're talking to the NFL on building that partnership, making sure everything's okay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have a couple hundred partnership agreements, not just with the NFL, but with other leagues and specific teams and specific arenas, and then broadcasters too. And so what we've seen is, since the taboo has been removed, people have maybe at first stepped onto the ice a little bit gingerly, and then they recognize, wow, there's a lot of opportunity here, financial opportunity. But then for us, it's make sure that they understand there's responsibility in that too, and that is making sure that people understand, look, this is not a way to pay your rent or pay your mortgage on sports betting. This is entertainment, and it has to stay in the entertainment line because what we want to make sure is that there's a small number of people that have problems with gambling or with sports betting, and we want to make sure that as we're introducing this legal product to people, we recognize that people have been betting on sports forever, only in the illegal market, and now we're giving them opportunity to do in the legal market. But we want to make sure that it's done in a way that's responsible.
And I don't know if you keep up with this, Bill. I saw a report from the NFL that, no type of gaming allowed for the participants in the Super Bowl, Chiefs and 49ers players, because obviously it's like no sports betting, but there's different kinds of gambling, and they said don't do that when you're here in Las Vegas. But after the game's over, go and have fun and celebrate, but just don't do sports betting. Just do whatever you want to play, craps, 21, blackjack, whatever it is, poker. Did you hear about that? What are your thoughts about that and that fine line there?
Yeah, I think that different leagues are taking these things differently, and I think it's really up to them. And it's the same thing, that it's kind of the mentality that we have around states. Like we now have gone from Nevada being the only place where you could legally bet on sports to 38 states plus the District of Columbia. And so, like, that's an amazing movement. But there's going to be some states where we're probably never going to have legalized gaming, casinos, sports betting, whatever. Utah, probably never going to have it. And so, in that context, that's okay. And so, for the NFL or the NCAA or Major League Baseball, for them to make the determination of what it is that they think is right for them, we want to be a source of information and a resource in terms of what we think best practices look like. But at the end of the day, it's the NFL and their Players Association making those determinations.
Yeah, I feel like I'm asking you a question just because I'm curious and reporter second, but I'm trying to tie both of them together.
That's good.
Obviously, everything on your phone, mobile devices, and doing that with the sports betting. I don't know, maybe you could play craps and blackjack on your phone too. I don't really know, but I'm sure you could. But how do you, make that accessible? But also, like, say you live in California and maybe you can, or whatever it is. And obviously in Las Vegas, like, you could get an app from, the Westgate Superbook or whatever it is. It's pretty easy. But around the country, how do you navigate that with, you see, like FanDuel and DraftKings and getting that more involved for the gaming side?
So, again, 38 states plus DC now. Everybody's a little bit different. And so some states have casinos, and then they have casinos in sports books, and maybe they have lotteries also. And so some states have mobile only. Tennessee, there's no casinos in Tennessee, but there's legal sports betting. And so each state kind of takes things differently. But one thing that we always have to remember is the illegal market is here. And so part of that, all right, well, I go to my phone and I download these apps. Some of these apps are not legal apps.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of a struggle that we have with the app stores and the platforms that host them, or search engines and those kind of guys. Because what we want to do is we want to see the legal industry grow and the illegal industry go away.
Yeah.
And I think that's a shared mission by us and the leagues and us and state regulators and law enforcement. But we struggle with, it's like a game of whack-a-mole, like the guy who sets up a website in Malta or Curacao or somewhere overseas. It's difficult to shut those people down because all they need is the ability to get on the internet and then be able to get people to find them. And then once they find them, then they can bet on those platforms. And so we're trying to move, and we've been successful. I think one of the statistics that I talk about a lot is there was a study that was done before the legalization happened in America. And what I mean by that is the Supreme Court ruled in May of 2018, Nevada shouldn't have a monopoly on sports betting. Boom. States decided to legalize sports betting, and they said, we think our constituents, they've been betting on sports as long as there've been sports to bet on. Why shouldn't we give them a legal option?
Yeah.
And so it passed really quick. And I mean, like America is very politically polarized, right? Republicans and Democrats can't agree on the color of grass, but yet bipartisan passed sports betting in 5 years, 38 states, because they knew the legal market existed and they wanted to give protection to their their constituents. And so the most recent study that we saw was the illegal market's now $64 billion. Still a lot of money, but a lot less than 150. And so what we're seeing is people they want to bet on sports legally. They want to move into the legal market, and it's being successful.
I'm guessing for you, it feels like you've made a lot of progress, and then at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, there's so much work to do, or is it more like, it's way better than 20 years ago, 10 years ago, or like you mentioned 2018? Is it get a little overwhelming sometimes thinking about it?
Look, I love my job, so challenge is what you want to wake up to every day having a challenge, right?
Yeah.
You don't have overwhelming challenge every day, but to me, making sure that we're telling the positive story about what legalization has meant. Both to the sports bettor, the fan, to the leagues and the teams, and the benefits that are there and the taxes that are brought in, and making sure that we're reminding people that, look, the mob still exists, corner bookies still exist, online websites that are not regulated, they still exist, and we need people to help try and shut them down so that we can make this legal business work even better. that's a challenge, but it's a good challenge.
One random thought, because
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, sure.
Something similar like that. It still goes on, and you think somewhere in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that type of gaming doesn't occur, but you never know. Yeah.
Hey, look, and at the end of the day, the legal regulated industry, when you're not going to get behind in paying the money back
Yeah.
on your
Yeah,
sports
yeah.
on your sports bets. You're only going to be able to bet what you put into the account.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hey, that's
the
a better,
other-
safer,
the- you know,
smarter. Yeah.
yes, and physically safer.
There you go. And one more thing, Bill.
Yeah.
Anything that I haven't asked you about, you want to share, and our listeners and viewers?
Well, I just think that one of the things that's really exciting is the fact that here we are in Las Vegas, and it was 25 years ago that they wouldn't even air a spot that when there was this whole great campaign called what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and it was seen as taboo to put that on TV. And now we've got official partnerships with the league, official partnerships with the broadcasters, official partnerships with the teams and arenas. And I think it's certainly good for the sports betting ecosystem. Like, all of the people financially are benefiting, but most importantly, it's benefiting the consumer because they actually have a legal, safe way to bet on sports.
Wow. Bill, I appreciate you dropping the knowledge. Some of my questions are maybe a little out there or silly or whatever.
No.
But I learned a lot here, and I'm very curious about the gaming industry, and that's why, for a while when I lived there, it was like, oh, it's just Las Vegas, and that's, you say America Gaming Association. Well, there you go. I learned everything about that. But Bill, thank you for having me on.
Awesome.
Sorry, having you on, because I learned from you.
Well,
there you go.
all right, awesome. Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.